The woman flops down on the bench and drops her trash bag between her feet. With elbows on knees and cheeks in hands, she stares at the sidewalk. Everything aches. Her shoulder is stiff and her hands raw, all because of the sack. Oh, to be rid of this garbage. Her memories of life without the bag of trash are fuzzy. As a child, maybe? She doesn't know for sure. She never looks at her trash. It repulses her, so she keeps the sack closed. What else can she do? Give it to someone? All have their own. Here comes an old man, face ravined with wrinkles, trash sack hitting the back of his legs as he walks. He attempts a smile. What weight could he be carrying, she wonders. Regrets. She turns to see who spoke. Beside her on the bench sits a man, bright, kind eyes. Like hers, his jeans are mud-stained. Unlike hers, his shoulders are straight. She looks around for his trash, but doesn't see it. He watches the old man disappear as he explains. As a young father, he worked many hours and neglected his family. His children don't love him. His sack is full of regrets. And yours is shame. His voice is gentle, compassionate. Too many hours in the wrong arms. Last year, last night. Shame. She stiffens, steeling herself against the scorn she has learned to expect. She awaits his judgment, but it never comes. His voice is warm and his question honest. Will you give me your trash? Her head draws back. What can he mean? Give it to me. Tomorrow. Will you bring it? He touches her cheek and stands. Friday, the landfill. Long after he leaves, she sits, replaying the scene. His voice lingers, his invitation hovers. How could he know what he knew and still be so kind? It's Friday. With hope just barely outweighing hopelessness, she heads toward the edge of town. Others are walking in the same direction. A teenage girl just ahead. The woman hurries to catch up. The girl volunteers an answer before the question is asked. Rage at my parents. I'm tired of anger. He said he'd take it, motioning to her sack. I'm going to give it to him. The woman nods, and the two walk together. As they near the landfill, the line is long. All wait in silence, stunned by what they hear. A scream, a pain-pierced roar that hangs in the air for moments, interrupted by a groan, then the scream again. His. He kneels before each, gesturing toward the sack, offering a request, then a prayer. May I have it, and may you never feel it again. Then he bows his head and lifts the sack, emptying its contents upon himself, the shame, the anger, the regret. He feels what they felt. Upon her turn, the woman hesitates. His eyes compel her to step forward. He reaches for her trash. You can't live with this, he explains. You weren't made to. He empties her shame on his shoulders, looks toward heaven with tear-flooded eyes and screams, I'm sorry. He sobs as she has sobbed into her pillow 100 nights. That's when she realizes that his cry is hers, her shame his. For the first step in a long nighttime, she has no trash to carry. With the others, she watches as he is buried under a mound of misery. For some time he moans, then nothing, just silence. The people wonder who this man is and what he has done. They feel odd loitering near the heap, but even stranger to think of leaving. So they stay, huddled around fires and metal drums, through the night, into the next day. Darkness comes again. Some doze. They wait one night, and then another. On the morning of the third day, they almost miss the moment. It is the young girl who sees it, the girl with the rage. She doesn't trust her eyes at first. When she looks again, she knows. Her words are soft. He's standing. Then louder. He's standing. All turn. They see him, bathed in morning light. Standing. Standing. Indeed. Jesus appeals to us to take to him everything that burdens us and weighs us down, our sin, our trash. We were designed to live free, not to live with sin. We try to do it for a time, but then realize the burden is just too heavy. The weight of sins, failures, and worries is just too much for one person to carry alone. Jesus wants them all. And it's time to take your bags to the street. It's Friday morning, trash day. Just give your trash to him. Simply pray, "Dear Jesus, for too long I've been carrying around all the burden of my sin and all that accompanies it. Sacks of shame, worry, pain, resentment, and failure. I've tried to live with the guilt and hurt, but they've grown too heavy. I ache, I grieve, I feel crushed. I realize that freedom begins by confessing my sin and giving it to you. You release me from my burden and take it to the cross. And now it's gone forever. Thank you for removing the garbage of my life. No longer is my life the same old story. Now I have a new beginning, and I am free because it is all in your hands.